Welcome to this look at a new mod map on Farming Simulator 19 with me, MrSealyp. This is POLESIE. I think I pronounced that correctly. This is a new map, as far as I can tell, to console. It was out on PC before and it's had a changelog, and part of that changelog update is saying console release. This is by Krasek. It is 141.04 megabytes. As far as I can tell, I've been trying my best with the pronunciations and translations. POLESIE, I think, means in the woods. There could be other translations for it, of course. I'm not Polish. I'm trying my best. There are a load of required mods for this map. So whilst it is 141.04 megabytes download, the list includes the Little Shed by Driver 300, the Old Polish Building Pack by Daniel X321, Polish Farmhouse by Carol, Polish Pigsty by Carol, Small Cow Shed by Driver 300, Small Polish House by Driver 300, The Witchy Well by Alien Jim, and I think there's a chicken coop as well. That in total comes to about 92 megabytes. So the total will come in at 233. Those automatically download. You haven't got to hunt them down. You haven't got to find them. As soon as you download the map, well, for me at least anyway, it automatically downloaded all of those required mods. Now, if you don't want those, obviously you can then go in and find them in your installed mods and delete them if you want to. But just to let you know, I'm on New Farmer, Normal Economy, and the map at the moment is using 575 out of 1299 slots on New Farmer. Where do we start? Well, we actually start at a sell point. We are here at the Sklep Spożywczy. See, told you I've been practicing. That means grocery store, as far as I can tell. The map looks like this. Now, again, this is one of those ones that all of this, don't be fooled, you can't buy any of that. But it does go off into the distance. This map is, what's the best way of putting it? It's a pretty map. It's beautiful. The landscape looks great. I like the colour palette. I like the texture palette. It's brilliant. So on New Farmer, we start with Field 59, which is very long and thin. 67 and 10. There are two farmhouses off the start. We've got pigs one side of the road. We've got cows the other side of the road, and chickens. There aren't that many sell points, and like I say, it's a small map, so we'll get around them fairly quickly. Field prices are pretty cheap, as you can see there, 20,118. I think the most expensive one is Field 36 at 73 grand. I think that's the biggest one. We've got a bit of forestry up the top of the map. I don't think we can buy that bit. No, that's in the section you can't buy. There are a few odds and ends here and there. There are some custom sound effects, I think, as well. There are contracts available. There's no biogas plant. So if you want to do biogas, you might want to place one. There's also no sawmill. Just trying to think. No, I don't think there's a sawmill. We'll double check that, but I don't think there's a sawmill either. What else do we need to know while we're looking at this? Oh yeah, crop types. If we go across one and scroll over, we have got alfalfa. Well, it says alfalfa on the mod hub, but in here it's listed as lucerne, rye and triticale. And as you can see on here, there are sell points for them, which is great. They're the three right on the end. We have also got the swath from alfalfa / lucerne there as well. That needs to be mowed, but there's no sell price, and that's why there's no sawmill. For wood chip, if we keep going across, there's no price either for sugarcane or cotton. They're not available. But there are tons of placeables, so if you wanted to, you could obviously try and put a placeable down. If you want mods, there are some mods. We'll get onto that in a minute. Let's whiz down here. This is another one. I really like the layout of this. I like the way it's done. Most of the sell points are at the top of this kind of hill, and that's the kind of peak over there, and everything kind of sweeps down away from it. You'll see as we go. But the main farm houses, one on the left here, one on the right there. As we carry on the road, we've got forestry off to the left, as we kind of saw on the map already. Like I said, the fields are small. Shadows are a bit dark. They're not horrendously so. And this could be another one of those ones that with seasons that could improve. So as you can see, a lot of the mods, the Witchy Well is there. The farmhouse placeable, the small shed placeable, the cow barn with pasture. Actually, that's what I was going to show you. If you come onto here on Farm Manager or Start from Scratch, the slot count drops down to 352, so 575 on New Farmer. Farm Manager, 352. Start from Scratch, 352. On Farm Manager and Start from Scratch, you don't have anything at all. And from here, it will look a little bit like this. And if I whiz over here quickly, it will look a little bit like this. So then that gives you the option then to do whatever you want, however you want. As far as I can tell, placeables, as we know on a lot of maps, can be a little bit iffy. So your sleep trigger on the first house is inside. We can go into these ones. I think there's a light switch. I'm sure there was a light switch because I'm sure because these are mods. Where it is though? Oh, it's that ever elusive hunt for light switches. Anyway, sleep trigger is here in the first house. Cow barn, we're going to look at the placeables in just a second. Doors open and close. Triggers for various different things. For bedding, you trigger for, so I say cows, sorry, pigs. So your livestock trigger for buying, selling, loading or unloading is just there. Feed trigger is here. Water trigger is just around the side. And then we've got our slurry and manure. That's a good point. This was one of those mods, I'm sure, when I did the mod review where I couldn't find everything. Potentially. I found them a bit frustrating, if I recall correctly. But anyway, that's the pigs. But it's like the I don't know. The views are great. It's been done really, really well. So across the road from here, we've got the other farmhouse. Beware the ditches when you're driving vehicles. They are quite sharp. You can come a cropper. So just be wary. Barn and building space. I think all of the vehicles and machinery that you start with are this side of the road. As you can see, we've got a trailer there. Harvester. Header. And I think cultivator just there. And then this is the cow barn with its trigger just there. Bedding, water point, slurry point, manure point. Interesting sound. I think the milk trigger for this one, is it just inside? Again, it's one of those ones, it's not that clear and obvious. It will require some fiddling. The second sleep trigger is in this house here. And if we come right the way in, it's in this room here. You might not want to have both. That's absolutely fine. We'll get onto the vehicles and machinery. And then we've got the chicken coop. Shed. Now this isn't showing on the required mods, but it was in my installed, so I'm assuming it was automatically installed. And obviously to have all of these on the map, when you load the map up and you go onto the mod selection screen, you either have all your mods selected, or when I do a map tour I will deselect everything and only select the mods that are required for it. So if you're going to do that, then you have to go through and actually find them all to select them. But that's chicken coop. And then the machinery. So what we'll do is we'll have a look here then at our garage. So we start with the Fendt Variant 511, the bison you've seen, the trailer you've seen, the header, the quality disc farmer cultivator, small seeder, a weight. The small cow shed holds 30 cows. The pig enclosure holds 6 pigs. The chicken coop holds 6 chickens. Small shed, witchy well. And then there's the fences that are around and the 2 farmhouses. So as far as the actual mods, because there are mods that the modder has put in as well, under animal pens, there's the ones that we've got installed. I don't think, was there anything on the miscellaneous? The witchy well. Decoration is all the fence stuff. So that's not a mod that's installed. That's been put in by the map maker. I don't think... That's a good point. Have we got a silo? And then the farmhouses. Let's check the map. I don't think we've got a silo, have we? That's a gas station. I think it's a line point. Yes, we don't have a silo off the start. I did think that building was to start off with because the trailer was in there, but I don't think it is. Yes, there's no silo either. Something to bear in mind, you might want to find one. It does say it's seasons compatible. So what we're going to do now is grab the tractor. Let's back that up. I'm not going to go and do any seeding, I'm just moving out of the way. So that's the two farm areas. That's the equipment we start with. Like I say, just up there and to the left is a bit of forestry. Actually, you can kind of get an idea for the size of the fields as well. We've got this embankment here and through the trees. Got the narrow fields all sweeping off down the hill. Like I say, it's a small map, but it looks like it just goes on and on. Because I think what they've done is used very wisely all the extra bits around the outside that they haven't used to make it look like they have. I suppose the argument could be had then, well, if you're going to use those to make it look like it goes on further, why not actually have them as fields? I guess there is some merit to that argument too. I do think having the lucerne, that extra splash of colour on the fields, I really do like that on the maps that have it. It looks fantastic. But obviously you do have the ability to plough fields together. There are some fields like this one with loads of trees in it, so you may want to go through and start taking some of those out. If we carry on just up here and turn right. So we are at the top of the hill now, like I said, and everything sweeps down away from here. Affording good views of the surrounding terrain. Sort of place they would have put a castle in medieval times. Main store. We haven't had to come far to get to it. So we've got a trigger there. Workshop trigger just there for selling, repairing or customising. Someone asked me the other day about these. What was the point of them? It takes you into this menu basically. It was just kind of a more immersive way if you wanted to borrow money, you could go and borrow money and then pay it back here if you wanted to, but realistically you can just do it from your controller and go into the menu anyway. But yeah, that's what they're there for, the cash points. I know a lot of people don't often use them, but that's what it's for. The reset point, I actually haven't checked because the farm's just down there. I think, did I check it? The reset point I'm sure is here, but we'll check it now. Why not? While we're here, we might as well. Let's pick something. Let's go for maybe the little cultivator, not the bison. That's a bit big. I suppose we could. Trailer. Reset point is here at the store. And then we've got line point just over here. Next, we are going to... which way is it? The next sell point? Is just along here, and it's here with the bales, and this is Strysek, I think it's pronounced. Strysek sell point just here, which is like the barn sell point, and then a little bit further along, I stop just there because we want to go down there in a second. We've got the next sell point, so these two are right on top of each other. This is Privatiash, I think it is Privatiash 1 and 2. So one of them is here. The other one is just around here. So on the map we've come from here, just up the road. We started at that sell point there. Up the road to the store and line point, fuel, there was a little fuel barrel, the thing that I clonked into. Then we've got the Strysek there. Then Privatiash 1 and 2. And if we go across one, you can see those sell points and what you can sell there. Potatoes and sugar beet at Privatiash 2. Privatiash 1 is more of a main sell point. The Sklep Spożywcze is an egg sell point, grocery store. And Strysek is, like I say, the barn type sell point. From here, we are going to take a little turn into the left. The map doesn't go much further that way. Like I say, it's very small. I suppose there is. I'm sort of thinking along those lines. When you get a small map like this, and like I say, I'm looking across this now thinking, wow, I just love the look of it. Would you rather a small map that's highly detailed and looks fantastic, and I think it really does. It has a great look to it. The colour and texture palette works really well. Or a much larger map, but just isn't quite as detailed. Maybe there's a few problems or a few bits and bobs here and there, so you've got more ground to play. And I guess that's the beauty of all the different map makers, and there's so many maps available in the mod hub, is that you can choose. You know, you can pick and choose and find that level you're looking for. Some people much prefer the highly detailed, what I refer to as pretty maps. Some people prefer the maps that have got loads and loads of features on and loads of things you can do, but maybe don't have quite the level of detail, I guess. Anyway, over the little river that runs down, over the culvert, and I think we're going to go out to the road, then down to the last of the sell points. I'm going to cut across to one of them, just because it means I haven't got to go up and back. So just down to the right there is the animal dealer. We'll get to that in just a second. The next sell point is the MrSealyp. MrSealyp, I think I'm saying that right. MrSealyp, which is dairy. That's just here. That's a great picture up on the wall. Love it. So that's the dairy sell point. And if I cut across here through the, I think it's Triticale, this one, just to here, our dialogue box for the livestock market animal dealer is just here. Like I say, that road was just off the one we came off of, but it was easy just to cut across, then go up and back, out past the dairy, back to the road. Like I say, you can see, yeah, it's not as bad as a few of the post maps we had recently from Tomix, but the shadows are still a little bit dark on here. But then it's still only, well, just gone 9 in the morning, I guess. That will improve as the sun comes up. And then we come down to here, to the last 2 sell points. We've got over here, Skupvelne. This is your wool sell point. Remember, there's no cotton on this map at the moment. And then we have got Skupirke. Irke, I think it is. I couldn't find a translation for that. That one is purchase of wool. This one, the translator couldn't find anything. But again, if we go to here, so we came from here, we went down this little track here, we cut across the river, then down here. There's that turning that takes you down to the animal dealer, but we carried along here to the MrSealyp, and I went just whizzed across. And we've gone there to Skupvelne, and then we've got Skupirke, which is just here. If we go across one, Skupirke does... Oh, that's one of the main ones. And obviously Welny is the wool. In essence, that's the map. It's not very big. But yeah, it's nice. I like the layout. And I think because it does look like it goes on and on. I think it's one of those maps for small equipment. You can just kind of really relax into it. No pressure, just have a bit of fun, work in the land. A good use for all those 3-metre cultivators. With the light behind you, you can really see. And some of the sound effects are great. What I'm going to do is whiz down quickly. Like I say, that splash there from the lucerne on the land. It's just a nice bit of colour on there. When you get up around into the trees, the birds tweeting, and there's some I think it's like bullfrogs. It's that kind of sound. There's a little lake. Some of the sound effects can be a bit loud. When I record, I've got my headset on, so I kind of tune it out to a degree. But I can imagine if you're playing regularly, or you've got all the sound coming right through, it might be a little bit annoying's the wrong word, but you know what I mean. don't know if that's supposed to be ducks or bullfrogs or... But things like this, it looks great. Really nice map. Really nice map with really nice details, nice topography. That's POLESIE by Krasek. Hope you found it useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.